Here's an idea. What if every movie took place in the same universe?
Mm-hmm.
I'm Erik Scott.
What up? It's your boy, Rich Mike.
Yo, it's Armand.
Was it the best movie I've ever seen? Yeah, probably.
Thank you, baby.
And this is Across the Movieverse.
Yeah.
Yo, what are we talking about?
Oh, we're here. We're
We're
queer.
back.
Get used to it.
We're not going anywhere.
All right.
What's going on,
We-
boys?
Hey, we're in. It's good to see you. President's Day. You both have off work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Look at that.
it was very lovely.
I remember those days when before every day was off work.
Fucking slam. Good slam on us, working guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I have no money, but I'm loving it.
But you got time.
That's all you need. I put on my virtual reality headset. I put my weighted blanket on. I drink an ounce of kratom and then just call it a day. Really makes for a good day.
You're drinking kratom now?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I haven't not been on kratom in the last 10 months, I think.
Seems like every time I hear about it, they got a new way to get it in your body.
Yeah, well, the drinking, it's the cheapest way because it's just the powder. If I'm taking it in capsules, it costs more because they have to put it in the pills. So you mix it up, put it in this gross water bottle, and then you just
You just shake it up.
and then you just slam it and go about your day. It's truly disgusting.
Are you ever gonna shoot it in your ass with the needle?
And, I mean, if I'm gonna go that far, I might as well just go heroin if I'm gonna start shooting shit in my ass. But yeah, I mean, it's really good. I've got some comic friends who are on the kratom train, and it's really helped me like make some friends in the city. We got Whiskey Dan and Under the Bridge Rob. He's cool. It's just a bunch of drug addicts that I'm friends with. But yeah, what are you guys up to today?
Not shit besides watching the movie.
Yeah, watch this movie.
This is our fastest turnaround ever.
Yeah.
A little bit behind the curtain. We recorded one yesterday. They'll come out a week apart still, but yeah, it was. I just finished it minutes ago.
Yeah, same. I finished it and then took like a 20-minute nap.
Oh, and I don't even know if we mentioned the movie. This is Escape from New York. Woo!
Classic
What a-
Kurt Russell movie.
Quit picking
Yeah.
movies that are about your new city, Eric.
I know. Home Alone
Yeah.
2, Lost in New York. Sequel, Escape from New York. Is that the only ones with New York in the title we've watched? We should watch New York, New York. Double the fun.
Yeah.
You think that movie's the state of New York twice? You don't think they're talking about the city, New York, in the state of New York?
That'd be funny if it's upstate New York, but they just keep going to different places. And they're like, yeah, this is New York, that's New York, over here's New York. It's all New York, baby. Like, what about New York City? And they're like, come again? What's New York City? Yeah, one of our friends just texted us and said that he's the only one that listens, so he'll hear this. That we only watch weird, obscure, like 80s movies that no one's ever seen, or that have cult followings, and it's pretty true. But I think people should they should see what we watch and then watch the movie and then listen, because they're good films. They're fun movies.
Yeah, they're definitely great movies. I'm starting to become a big Kurt Russell fan. Like, he's kind of the fucking man.
He is. Well, apparently, I was reading the trivia on IMDb, and he was not the first choice. He really fought for himself for his role in this. They wanted a bunch of other different people because they didn't think his previous work would have him make sense as this badass.
Yeah.
But he was pretty good.
Yeah, which is kind of funny. I'm assuming this role got him the Chinatown role. since it came out after this movie.
Yeah.
Okay. I believe it.
I can't see Kurt Russell any other way than a hot stud. I can't imagine what they were thinking back in the day. Like, you can't play Snake Pilkskin.
Pliskin. Snake Foreskin.
Snake Foreskin.
That was the porn version.
That's the name of my clone.
Is that what you watched on your VR set?
Dude, VR porn, it's really something. And once they really figure it out, and they have already like touch suits you can wear, for it's to simulate, I think, for maybe for soldiers or something, to where you can like feel like, I don't know, it's not for porn, but somebody's like, all right, we're gonna put this on our dicks, and and it's gonna be like, people aren't, they're gonna just be in virtual reality. That's gonna be their lives.
Ready Player
Myself
One
included.
style.
Yeah. Ready Player Come. That's gonna be.
Yeah,
we should write that.
the most unrealistic part of Ready Player One was they were playing a bunch of video games instead of just fucking each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously, all those nerds too. Like, just fuck. What else are you doing? It's like the sound in the VR headset, it plays in a way that it seems like kind of like surround sound. It's really cool. But in the VR porn, a girl will come sometimes and she'll get in your ear and whisper, and you hear it in that ear. It's crazy. And then it's like it's your body, and it's your hog now. That's your hog now.
You need to get me one of those.
Yeah, dude. If anything,
it's not for porn, you know.
Yeah, if anything, what we're doing right now, this is the virtual reality. There's my reality. Reality is what you make it, and that's where I want to be. Where I'm just some substitute teacher coming in, and I can't find my grade book, but once I do, I'm gonna give her an A. But it's good. It's so good, I finished pretty quick, and then I apologize afterwards. Like, I'm sorry, this never happens. So sorry. We just like laid and talked for each other for a while. It was pretty miserable. Like, I hated it.
You were just waiting for her to leave, but then you forgot that you just gotta take the headset
Yeah.
off.
If you paid for the hour of VR,
I'm gonna stay in there. Then her pimp comes in, and I'm like, all right, listen, man, I didn't. I'm just getting beat up in VR. They take my wallet. Dude, listen, man. Oh man, but it works well for movies too, I guess. When I went to buy it at Best Buy, I was like, is there a place where I can like sample this? And I'm like, maybe I could go to the restroom or something. They're like, wait, what? And I was like, oh, never mind.
They hand you a bottle of lotion.
At that point,
Here you go, sir.
At this point, Best Buy has booths for that exact purpose. It's pretty much just like a porno theater now.
I look up the lines around the store, and it's like, oh, okay. It's like, just take a number over there, and you can hop in and strap on.
Pee Wee Herman's booth.
Why did
they call it?
Why did Best Buy get changing? Why did Best Buy get fitting rooms? I don't get it.
You'll learn one day, son. You'll learn.
That's a funny bit to go to if you buy condoms and be like, do you have a fitting room for these? Do you mind if I can try these on real quick? I got home last time and they were just way too big. I one time I was buying condoms. It was like 3:30 in the morning. I went home with this girl and we were like fooling around for hours, and it was just one of those like where we're like deciding. Well, she was deciding. I had my mind made up. I knew what I would be willing to do, but you know, I respect women, so you know, I'm just going down on her for like 2 days, and then finally she's like, "Do you have a condom?" She's like, "Do you have a condom?" I start looking through and I don't. And I'm like, should I go get some? There's a CVS down the street. And she's like, yeah. So I sprint down the street. And it looked like if the doors wouldn't have opened, I just would have ran through it like the Looney Tunes. Like there would have been like a person open.
With a huge boner.
Yeah. There's a hole first and then the body. And then I buy the condoms, and the guy's like, "Do you want a receipt?" And I was like, "What? Am I gonna return them? Like, what do you mean?" What? I'm like, clearly these are like, this is a right now purchase. Like, I'm not. This is not looking for the future. It's 3:30 in the morning. I'm sweating.
Your shirt's off.
Yeah, but I got them, so that was good. And that's how I met your mother.
Ran ass naked to CBS.
Dude, that's on the director's cut of How I Met Your Mother. Like, listen, I was going down on her. She wouldn't let me. She was just letting me finger her for 2 hours. And, sometimes women will do that, and you gotta respect it.
You can't get angry, right?
Yeah, don't get angry. Just hang out, and just be happy you're there. Just be happy you're in the game in the first place.
Yeah.
Get your virtual reality headset and call it a day.
It'll be
Go to your room.
Man. All right, so Escape from New York. What a picture. What'd you guys think? Initial
great
thoughts.
Action flick.
Very good.
They shot it in East St. Louis.
Did they really?
Because they just needed a place that looked like it was like bombed out and stuff in there.
Yeah.
There had been like fires, I guess, in the late 70s, so all the buildings were still kind of torn down.
Yeah.
Pretty lucky they didn't have to build a set for a post-apocalyptic town. They just went to Missouri.
Yeah. Dude, one time I was a production assistant on this short film, and they shot it. It was supposed to be post-apocalyptic, and we went to Gary, Indiana, and like in these just abandoned churches and stuff, and there's just rubble everywhere, and there's like needles all over the floor and stuff. That was pretty cool. Those were for me, actually.
The kratom needles.
Yeah, I was just tossing those. But yeah, you can find some really cool abandoned shit in very downtrodden areas. But let's do a quick breakdown, talk about it a little bit, and let's dive in.
Yeah, definitely starts off pretty quick.
Yeah, the countdown, an action movie countdown. It's a very common theme. It's almost in every action movie. Starts immediately. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Give me a clock right away. I want to know the stakes.
I don't care how long it is. Just give me a
Yeah.
clock.
So I mean, it was 22 hours on the clock.
Yeah. You think that's where 24 got
that's
there?
that's the best. That's the best format ever. Is just ticking clock.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Every movie should start off with a bomb timer.
Yeah.
Get the audience excited.
Seriously.
Little
Well, that's
Women.
like in did you say No Women?
Little Women starts off with a
Oh yeah.
fucking ticking time bomb. Yeah, I'm interested.
Yeah, I mean, I think that'd just be their periods, because all of them are living together in the same house, and they're all gonna get it at the same time. That's a time bomb if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be in that house.
No. And if
One
you
day.
are, you just say, "What do you need, honey? I'll take care of you."
Yeah.
My dad pulled me aside when I was a little kid, and he goes, "Hey, listen, about 1 week out of every month, your mom, she's not gonna be that great to be around, and you got to be extra nice to her, okay?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Hey, just trust me, My dad told me that.
Is that true?
Yeah. He's like, and you got to be extra nice to her, because
do some magic shows,
I used to call tampons plugs, which
Which is a better name, honestly.
Honestly, like, because if I was like, yeah, you get your plugs, you got a hole in you got to plug that thing up. It's like you're working on a boat, and you gotta get a hole in the starboard side. So Escape from New York takes place dystopian, kind of like apocalyptic future. Yeah. Crime has risen 400%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they decide, they're like, all right, well, crime's pretty bad. What if we took the whole island of Manhattan and just turned it into a prison?
Yeah.
Everyone. So what do you think, real quick, what do you think became the new New York? if New York is like center of culture, cultural hub of the world, one of them, where do you think that moved to? Because you still got to have that.
I think it's Mad Max-esque. It's after World War III. I think everything's destroyed. People are just scavenging around.
Well, I thought that the reason they did that is it kind of like made the rest of the world better because all the prisoners are there. They just send them to Manhattan.
Oh, so I don't know. Where do you think it would be?
I don't know, because like in Ready Player
Florida.
One, Florida, yeah, Tampa, baby, that's my New York City. In Ready Player One, it's Cincinnati, I think, right? Cleveland, somewhere in Ohio.
Yeah,
I thought
which is pretty hilarious.
Yeah, and like the buildings are like crazy stacked on top of each other, even more than now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They'd have to go somewhere Midwest.
Probably, well, eventually, yeah, because the oceans are gonna swallow up New York and LA eventually. Like,
yeah, maybe Chicago. I mean, since it's basically a little New York.
Yeah.
Just expanded a bit.
For sure. So all the criminals live in New York now, and it's walled off.
Yeah.
Once you get in, you're supposed to never be able to get out. And
It's
we
like
open
patrolled. It's just a giant prison. Yeah.
Yeah, walled off. The president is on a flight, and it's hijacked by someone who that never comes back in to play.
No. Yeah.
It's hijacked. Well, I guess they crashed the plane too, which also I saw, and I mean, they had no reason to know this, but like crashing a plane into a building in New York would be a big thing later on in the future.
It was in the World Trade Center.
Well, I mean, he lands on the Kurt Russell when he flies in. He lands on the World Trade Center.
I know. Yeah. Do you think they got like a bootleg copy? Al Qaeda got a bootleg copy of this, and
they're like, they're like, I got an idea. We don't land on top of it. We land into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they maybe they thought it would be. They were trying to land on top of it, like Snake Plissken.
Yeah.
I mean,
like,
they did.
This for you, Snake.
They did go to pilot school. All those terrorists in Florida, actually, in New York and Florida.
New York, Florida.
Yeah. So the president's on a plane. I'm assuming it's like an Air Force One sort of deal.
Oh, it's Air Force One.
And it's hijacked. They crash it into New York, and the president gets in this little president egg pod that just like poops him out somewhere, and he falls into New York, and he has these like all these papers and this tape that is supposed to be revealed at the UN summit to help with peace between China, Russia, and them.
Yeah.
And then it basically just becomes a manhunt for this president because all these weirdos have him now, all the criminals, and they have to get, and the Duke, they have to get Snake Plissken in there, former special ops turned criminal turned one-eyed piece of ass. They got to get him to come in and save the president.
Mm-hmm. Bang any trash you can on the way.
Well, that's the thing. There's, as far as we know, maybe 3 to 4 women on the island that we saw.
Not a lot.
And, well, one, there's a scene where he's walking through, like, the first building. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
Is that a woman or is that, like, a little twink man?
I don't know.
Wait, in the coffee shop?
No, it's when he...
No, that's David Bowie.
He goes
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's it. David Bowie with boobs.
Yeah.
But he walks downstairs, and then the cab driver, he goes, he's just like, oh, you don't want to go down there. And then, like, the first thing he sees is just 3 dudes, like
passing
a girl around.
Oh, I literally wrote down, in the future, or in their alleged future, are they playing hot potato with the woman right now is what I wrote down. They were just pushing her around.
But they rip off her shirt. And then, like,
they
Kurt
start
Russell's
ripping
just
it.
Like, hey, I got a job to do, baby. You're on your own.
Then he went and found...
He says that?
No, I'm just,
Oh. But he's thinking it.
But
he probably thought that. He did say baby a lot. I love that.
Yeah,
but yeah.
called it.
Well, then I mean, just based off of men's behavior in history. Like, if there's only like 4 women in a whole prison of New York, like, you're kind of just, you're really putting these women in a poor situation, I think.
Yeah.
Like, and we only see 2 other ones.
Because there's no prison guards. There's nothing. It's literally just like a big city filled with pieces.
It's a life sentence.
It's like Australia back in the day.
Yeah, Prison Island.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming these women are just being absolutely tortured, and like, because you don't see, I don't know, you don't see many of them. I was assuming maybe there'd be a big crew of them all together that were like kind of badasses that like had their own gang.
Kind of like in the Warriors.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that didn't really happen.
Yeah, or like Sin City, their own women gang, keeping women safe.
Yeah.
Nope, we never saw anything like that.
So, turns out the president has gotten kidnapped by the Duke, who's kind of like he's the Duke of New York, kind of like Jay-Z, I'd say, black, and
looks good in a cowboy hat.
I was so glad when the Duke was black because just because the person who hijacked the plane was talking about how the reason they're doing that is because this prison is racist and it's like classist and all this stuff. But then I look and I'm like, it's all white people in here. So it's like, that doesn't mean they're just not around somewhere, but that just shows that in the 80s they didn't, or 70s, they didn't put minorities in movies like that much. Like, it wasn't even like, that's like a theme. That's like a reason they're doing it. And they're like, nah, that's not that important.
Nah.
Yeah,
like the Duke.
That terrorist that brought that plane down threw a lot at us in about 1 minute of screen time. She said it was racist and classless in Prison Island as well.
It's like, well, it's prison, you know.
Fair enough.
Hey, real quick, Mike, if you can move the mic just a little bit more in front of your mouth, I think that might help a little bit.
On it.
There we go. Cool. But yeah, so then they get Snake Foreskin in there to he's got to go rescue the president.
Who was a ex-special ops guy. So he used to work for the army. Did they mention why he became a criminal or whatever?
Not really, no.
Right? They didn't really mention any.
I was reading there's like a book that does a little more expose on him, but not really.
I think they said that they said in the movie that he was robbing the Federal Reserve. But then I was reading about that book as well, and apparently there were supposed to be other scenes where they showed him robbing the bank to start and then getting arrested. That would have given us a much better idea of what civilian life was like in everyday America.
Yeah, so was he in another prison and then they transferred him there? Because they didn't like get him out of New York, bring him up, and then send him back.
He must have just got arrested.
Just got pinched.
Dropped him in there.
Yeah. Yeah. They inject something like these like charges, kind of like Mission Impossible, into his neck.
Suicide Squad style, yeah. Yeah,
that are to explode after a certain amount of time if he doesn't return with the president, so he doesn't run away. Chaos ensues. Fights his way through the town, saves the president, gets him back. Every one of his friends dies that he meets.
Every single one.
And gets him back eventually. And he says to the president, "Hey, a lot of people died to try to help you out." And the president's just going like, "Yeah, whatever. I don't care. I'm glad." You know, he's about to go on TV, and shows him he was about to play the tape that he was going to play at the summit, which was this tape that had like these nuclear, it was like saying that they discovered this new element that could make nuclear bombs even more powerful. Did you guys get that part?
I thought it was a tape that like they were using nuclear energy. I thought it was going to bring peace.
Yeah.
Well, so that's what I thought too, because so Snake switches out the cassettes, and he gives the president just a music cassette, and he's walking away, and at the end he's tearing up the tape. So I was reading up on that, and because no one understood like why he seems like he's supposed to be like a halfway decent guy. Like he doesn't, like there's no reason for him to want World War III.
Right.
Yeah.
Or like nuclear or Holocaust essentially, but he tears up this tape. So some people were saying that this is like it was like an American tape that was basically saying like strong arming them, saying like we are the most powerful and we'll like take over or something.
Yeah, basically like hey, we can have world peace, but like just know that we're more powerful than you, so don't fuck with us.
Yeah,
I guess that
which
kind of makes sense.
Yeah, but if it's just a recording of them saying, because when they played it in the cab, it was just to them. They played a little bit of it, but it's like, why can't you just get them to say it again? Or like, don't you know what's on it?
I didn't even think of that. I thought it was like some unique thing, but yeah, it's just a fucking cassette, easily.
Yeah, it's not like a code or anything.
Right.
But suspension of disbelief, I guess.
I'd like to think it was a future tape from the future of Mr. Clinton getting dome in the office.
I mean, he wrote this
soundbite.
He wrote this movie after the Watergate scandal, so I think the tapes definitely are a fuck you to whoever brought down to Frost. I don't know who brought down Nixon to the Supreme Court.
Frost Nixon was a thing, yeah.
It was Forrest
the
Gump.
interviewer. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Forrest did it. We should watch Forrest Gump sometime because it's a whole alternate future.
Yeah.
Love that.
Maybe that's the next one.
I'm in. So he saves the president, but then he just throws away this tape, which is what he's fighting for the whole time. But he's not going to die. He's free now, apparently, or shows that he's free. And that's it. There is a sequel to this, which I have not seen, called Escape from L.A., which I'm kind of interested in now.
I'm sure as soon as you move to LA, Eric will have to watch that.
Yeah, we're gonna watch Beverly Hills Ninja. We're gonna watch.
I'm in.
Beverly Hills Ninja is great.
Beverly Hills Cop.
You know the guy who Hulk or whatever, Hawk, like police chief or whatever. I like to think that his earring that he had on wasn't like in the script, but he's like, I think my character would have an earring.
The warden of Prison Island is definitely rocking two hoop earrings. Yeah,
I think trust me on this one, guys. I think I'd have an earring. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it is 1997, right? I feel like a lot of people wore earrings in the 90s.
Well, that was back when the ear thing. Remember when it was the right ear was the gay ear?
Yeah, like if you wore one earring on your right ear, it meant you were gay or something like that.
Yeah,
which is hilarious.
I heard it made you gay. Like if they accidentally, if they accidentally pierced that ear, you're just like, well, this is it now.
Get up and start sucking.
Yeah, sucking and fucking.
Yeah.
All because of an earring.
So you think some of the people who would pierce your ears were like, oh, I'm gay, so I'm going to make him gay so we can do some stuff afterwards. Wow.
Yeah.
My dad always told me to stay away from those places.
They get tricked once, and then they are the new tricksters.
Yeah, dude. It's like the
pyramid scheme.
It's like the Ring. The earring, and then they call you and they're like, 7 gays.
I'm gonna be gay in 7 days.
then you got to bang 7 gays.
In order, unless you want to be gay, then you don't have to bang 7 gays. You just wait for the 7th day and then start banging a bunch of dudes or women.
Thank you.
Whatever. It's all a spectrum,
Yeah.
Dude. I bet our grandkids, like, we're gonna say something about being gay, and I'm gonna be like, I'm gay, and they're like, what? But they probably won't even understand that, like, at one point you had to, like, say you were one thing or the other. It's like, no, I fucked the dog, I fucked the lamppost, fuck
the couch,
I fucked you. I was like, what? He was like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Came home, thought you were your mother. It was a weird time.
That's the future I'm trying to live in. That where everyone's just on board. Just what is it? Just in seek of pleasure.
Everything's fluid, baby.
Yeah.
Everything's fluid.
And fluid is everywhere. Don't care who you are. Just gonna kiss you on the lips.
Gonna kiss you on the lips and start going at it, you know.
Mm-hmm. You know what I do in virtual reality. That's between me and my boys.
Your dream of being a substitute teacher.
Yeah, I just gotta my virtual reality dream is that I have a bachelor's degree and I'm substitute teaching. And then I'm also the JV wrestling coach. Sometimes I gotta oil those boys up.
Yeah. Before they get out on the mat.
Yeah, but one of them's been held back, and that's the one I go after because I'm not a pedophile, just a homo. Yeah, man, this episode's really off the rails. Yeah, we can't be doing 2 in a row, I don't think. We run out of shit to talk about. We just go into... Oh, boy.
Being a gay wrestling coach.
Yeah.
Oiling up these boys.
Just fucking blowing my whistle. Choking myself with my whistle. Yeah. You guys have any specific any plot points or things that happen that we want to talk about real quick? A little point breakdown.
Throughout the movie, I was wondering why his name, like, when the warden of the prison recruited Snake, there's a lot of back and forth, like, don't call me Plixin, call me Pilkson, call me Snake. And then the general says his name is, like, SD Pilkson or whatever.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole movie, I'm wondering, like, why are they calling him Snake? Where's this coming from? And then at the end, during the wrestling match, his shirt's off, and he has a fucking enormous snake tattoo coming up from his crotch, and then it's the head of a snake, like, covering half of his fucking chest, coming up from his dick.
Yeah, do you think that if you were to remove his pants, that it would be the tip of his dick would be the end of the tail of the snake?
Yeah, but I think the tattoo wraps around his legs like once or twice and then goes up and ends with his dick.
Oh, that's good. And it's got a little
like
rattle. Yeah, it's got a little rattlesnake.
A little rattle foreskin, you know?
Mm-hmm. Just shake it. People like start to hear the and he's like, what's that? He's like, that's when I'm angry. Oh no, that's his warning sign.
Or whenever he hears like some like flutes playing or some like fucking Arabian music playing, his dick just starts going like this.
I call my dick the Cobra because it only responds to Indian men playing flutes. It's the only way I can get it moving. Well, what about the Well, the one woman who was Brain's girlfriend.
Oh, she's got some
cams,
knockers,
boobies.
Yeah,
and they are just out the whole time. She even puts on a blazer at one point, and she's just tits out.
Still rocking them, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess she's like the only woman.
The reason she got with Brain, and one of the characters is telling us, is that the Duke, like the criminal boss of New York, gave Brain this woman.
Yeah.
So she's like independent, powerful, huge boobs, and she's getting passed around like currency.
But you can tell that I think like towards the end that she actually kind of cared for Brain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, she basically commits suicide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she could have moved out of the way of that car, I think.
Yeah,
it was so far away.
I think she wanted to. She almost wanted to die.
Yeah, she was super hot, big boobs, died gruesomely. She was kind of a badass. I mean, she was killing people the whole time. Like she was way more of a badass than Brain. Her first instinct was always to grab a gun and like try to shoot somebody. And Brain's like, all right, baby, cool it.
Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why she liked him. You know,
She's like, I know. He's like, I know you got your plug in, but let's be rational.
Yeah, she was definitely the dom in the bedroom.
Yeah.
the Fast and Furious Vin Diesel.
Yes,
She was the dom in the bedroom.
She was drinking a Corona, and he had a 10-second car. That's what I call my dick a 10-second car.
10-second car.
You're being a dom right now.
Did you guys notice that when they were first going to go meet the Brain, Pinky and the Brain, and they were gonna go meet him, that the music they were playing, it was super similar to like Halloween, because it's both John Carpenter. It was like that.
Yeah.
So that was a good little.
I forgot that John Carpenter did the first. Did he do the first two? Right.
I think so.
Halloween's, because like the first two are
definitely
kinda
the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was John Carpenter like the Quentin Tarantino of the fucking 80s? Like Halloween, Escape from New York, a bunch of The Thing, like a bunch of different genres that.
He did Big Trouble as well.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell, his hair was real good in this. That's I think what I'm going for eventually.
Yeah. I kind of want to go for the patch look. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Wear a tank top, wear a patch to the bar.
Dude, Kurt Russell's ass in this movie was nicer than most of the women's asses I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Or
Kurt
at least
Russell...
been a part of.
Kurt Russell was wearing like huge boots and knee pads and like ankle guards and jeans that look like they're sewn together from 3 different sets of jeans. And then up top just a tank top. He's got all his protection down low. Up top can't even.
He's got to protect the.
Can't even get the sleeves on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he the eye patch was his choice as well.
He actually has 2 eyes. He just
does have 2 eyes
for the look.
He's like, oh, it was funny. All these like weirdos in New York that are like the low level weirdos. I see those people just walking around Brooklyn a lot. It's just like they're either hipsters or they're homeless. They look they're all wearing like weird hats and glasses. It's funny.
I guess there was really, I mean, obviously besides strength in numbers, I feel like in the prison they didn't have guns. They had like bow and arrows and shit.
Yeah,
like
I think
rocks.
they probably got rid of all the guns.
Yeah.
During Snake's daring escape, he is firing guns, and some of the like crazy enemies have guns, but also some of them are just tossing rocks in a fucking gunfight on the roof of the World Trade Center.
Yeah. R.I.P.
Al Qaeda must have seen it. This movie.
Well, because I think Al Qaeda's original plan was to just throw rocks at the World Trade Center, and then they're like, wait, I think I got a plan.
I think we got it.
Boss?
We have to hire Snake Plissken. You think why do you think? Because he didn't want to be called by his original name, and same with Brain. He didn't want to be called Harold. He wanted to be called Brain.
It's got to be some backstory stuff. Maybe they don't. But then at the end, he goes Snake. The warden guy or cop guy goes Snake, and he goes, the name's Pliskin or Pilkskin.
I would never know his name.
Yeah, Snake Pilskin.
Pilskin.
It's my VR headset.
The final fuck you to the warden is, don't call me Snake, you little bitch.
He has to go get his tattoo just painfully removed.
I like to think that this is how Gotham started. It's like it started as a prison, and then as they kind of formed colonies and shit, kind of became its own city. And that's why it's so fucked up, is because it's a bunch of inmates.
Well, like the Arkham Asylum in Gotham's a big thing.
Prison within the prison.
Mm-hmm.
Crime is nuts. That'd be crazy if they made a prison within the prison.
Within the prison, almost like an Inception.
Mm-hmm. Well, do you guys have any sort of theories or anything about tie-ins to other films or
I think
homage?
I had a theory about Brain, really small. I think he actually ends up living. I think he kind of just faked his death. Escapes from the prison to only end up as a trustee in another prison in the Green Mile known as Toot Toot. And he kind of just...
that's such a prison name.
Yeah.
Little Toot Toot.
He's if you haven't seen Green Mile, he's basically the trustee. He's the one who sells snacks to a bunch of people, and also when they do the rehearsal, he's the guy who sits in the chair and they do their speech or whatever, and they pretend to kill him, but they don't.
I was thinking for Brain, if he were to live, that he would have to go through some sort of rehabilitation, some sort of, like, maybe he was given a Medal of Honor type deal, and or put in some sort of like cryogenic sleep, and then woke him up and they put him on the crew in Alien. Which takes place like years after this would be anyway, so that's a bit of a stretch, but it's both Harry Dean Stanton.
Yeah.
Avengers, the janitor from Avengers, from the original Avengers, Hulk falls out of the ceiling right before the big final battle. And he's asking about aliens, or
I think that was
after he gets back. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Back from Aliens movie, goes on to retire, be a janitor or a security guard at a little empty factory.
Yeah.
I think that I think Snake Plissken and what's his name from Big Trouble in Little China?
What is his name?
Jack.
Is it Jack, right?
Is it Jack Burton?
I think it is. Right? I think it is Jack Burton.
I think they might be estranged, like, twin brothers.
Maybe.
I'd say Snake is way more badass than
it is.
Jack Burton. Like that. Yeah, like, I mean, Jack has some, like, natural badass stuff that happens, but I think that Snake is what would happen if Jack Burton was trained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
wasn't such a fucking dweeb.
Yeah, he's a big doofus, but he's got some good pickup lines. He's just always trying to get laid.
Yeah. This movie wasn't really horny. I mean, it couldn't be because there was no women in it, but Snake was more focused on the mission than the mission of ass.
Yeah. I mean, Jack Burton did call not the news lady, didn't he call her baby a couple times too?
Yeah, but that's just Kurt Russell,
sure.
baby.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Maybe it runs in the family.
Oh yeah.
Just call everyone baby, and they're like, "I'm gonna have you, baby."
That's Kurt Russell, baby.
This time.
Did he say that in the?
No.
What's that from?
I don't know.
I'm gonna have you, baby, but not at this time. That's good. You just thought of that right now? That's insane. That's got to be on like a top 100 best lines ever list.
I'm gonna have to use that at the bar, and then just probably scare someone.
Oh yeah, because you'll say it and you got that mustache, and your eyes will be crossed.
Yeah,
I'm guessing you'll be wearing some like tall tee and like shooting dice in the corner with your older brother AJ. And I'm gonna have you, baby, but not tonight. I gotta write this down.
I'm gonna have you, baby, but not right now.
But not right now. That's good. Get that tattooed on my chest.
Yeah.
All the way down to your dick.
Instead of a snake, yeah, it's gonna be just that.
I think I'm gonna be Snake Plissken for Halloween. That's a good, especially if I got the long hair.
No one's gonna get it, but yeah, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, well, I mean, either way, you just get to look cool. I get to wear cool tight pants and a tank top.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Eye patch. I mean, if I could just go to one of those clubs where the homosexual gentlemen hang out, and I could see a bunch of Snake Plisskens. I think that's what they wear, minus the eye patch maybe, but
that could be a type.
I'm sure it's something. Those gays are organized. They've got it.
Yeah. I also think one more too. I kind of just thought of since we were talking about VR sets. I think since the Duke is like the main dude, and he can kind of get whatever he wants. I think he gets his hands on a VR set and puts it on and becomes a chef in a grammar school and starts serving 4 little bastards their food in South Park, Colorado. That's his escape.
Is he the voice?
Isaac Hayes does the voice
What?
of Chef.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good.
He's a Scientologist. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's a Scientologist too. Yeah.
Man.
So that's his escape from New York is a VR set in South Park, Colorado.
Yeah. And he's just teaching kids poor life decisions.
Yeah, how to make love.
The president kills the Duke and fucking talks just so much shit to him as he's just mowing him down. The Duke was like hazing the president while he was hostage, Guantanamo Bay style, and then the president fucking leaves Snake out as bait for Duke and then just mows him down and fucking talks the biggest shit.
Gun.
What it did.
Yeah. There's that scene where when they're on the roof trying to leave on the plane, when they're on the roof of the World Trade Centers, and the brain, like, is getting shot at by some people or they're throwing rocks or something, and he goes, "You Redskins, they're savages!" And it's just a blatantly, like, very racist thing to say, because they're not even Native Americans. He's just calling them Redskins and saying that they're these animals. Very rude thing to say.
Do you think he said it because they have like the bow and arrows and they're throwing rocks and they almost kind of looked a little tribal?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I get the savage part, but like just saying the redskin thing, it's like you gotta make it a skin color thing.
Yeah, right. It's damn Browns, you know. Jesus Christ.
my football team was the Redskins in high school.
Yeah.
And then we every Thursday we would have to do this really hard training exercise, conditioning, and they called it the Trail of Tears. And like looking back, I'm like, damn, that is incredibly offensive.
Yes.
Like, I didn't realize, because then I like read a book that wasn't just a high school social studies book. And I'm like, man, the Trail of Tears sucked. Like that, like everyone died. Like it was so terrible. And they're just like, oh yeah, we're gonna run a lot today.
Yeah.
Call it the Trail of Tears. Yeah, I read some themes about the regarding kind of the Carpenterverse, which it said that like The Thing and another one of his movies all take place in the same universe.
Yeah.
That I found kind of interesting.
Which kind of ties into what Leahy was saying about Tarantino, because I mean, Tarantino, he's got a lot of his movies are kind of in the same universe. Or like there's characters from each universe.
Yeah,
like
and
in, like you've seen From Dusk Till Dawn, right?
Yes, I think I watched it with you that summer we lived together. We watched it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, the cop in that is the same cop in Kill Bill 1.
Oh, great! And is
So
the same like
character.
name and stuff? Okay.
I believe it's the same name, same character, because obviously it's in El Paso, Texas. I think is where both locations are at, where he's stationed. So.
Okay. Yeah, I love when people do stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Really makes this easier, and then also it's just fun to connect the worlds a little bit.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize a lot of the characters.
Not
or
too
like,
many famous people.
Yeah, this came out in '81, which was way older than I thought it was.
Yeah.
It's almost 40 years. Damn.
Yeah.
Right?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Math? Yeah, I think so.
I'm not over that one lady's boobs though. That was something.
Yeah, they were. It took me a minute to kind of concentrate on the film, as soon as I saw them. But
yeah,
I mean, every time they were on screen, I promise you, I could not take my eyes off
yeah,
them.
I mean, good for her. I wish I had a set of tits like that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
We always see it, Armand.
save up those coins.
Yeah.
Did you see that at a Bernie Sanders rally, someone like charged the stage and took the microphone because he like contributed money to dairy farmers or something, and it was about something like that. And then this topless woman came up And like that's happened several times. Topless women are protesting and they like write shit on their tits, and it's like, hey, that's a good way to get me to read something.
Yeah,
You know?
it's the best way to get me to
Well,
read
It's
something.
the only
Why don't
way,
you
almost.
put a brochure on there and you see what's up. I think there was this big protest outside of the Republican National Convention one year where, because they're making all these like backwards laws governing women's bodies and all that stuff, and all these women stood out front like naked or topless to say like, hey, this is my body, it's my choice, all that stuff, which I agree with. But I wonder if somebody's like, hey, I got a crazy idea. Listen, I love the ladies, you know that, but I think if we oppress them long enough, they might show us their boobs.
They might start writing stuff on their boobs and use it as a message.
Just an idea. And they're like, but you want to be awful to these women for years? And he goes, hear me out. You know, we don't actually want to do any of this stuff, but you know, come on, you see a titty.
Come on. We're not even going to have to ask, you know?
Yeah.
You know?
They're gonna get so angry with us that they show us their titties. Like I don't get the logic behind that. It's like that's the thing I want to see anyway.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
But hey, ladies, you know, keep doing it. Keep it up.
Keep doing your thing, you know, keep protesting. You're doing great.
Yeah, I'm up. I'm in. Whatever you need, I'll help.
Whatever you need, I'll give it to you.
Please.
You want me to go down on you for several hours, you know?
Sure. Put an audio book in and let me go to town.
That's funny. But yeah, I don't know. You think when the first protest and the first pair of boobs that came up, like the guy's friends were like, "You son of a bitch, you were right." You know?
That son of a bitch did it. He tricked them into showing us their boobs. Yeah.
You got a bunch of older white men just like cheering in a room like, yeah.
Yeah, they're like throwing papers in the air like when they landed the lunar module. Yeah, we did it. See the tits. Yeah, dude. I mean, you can't be showing Bernie Sanders those tits, man. He's gonna die. He'll have a heart attack.
Yeah, he's in his 70s, right? He's old.
He just had a heart attack. I think he's almost 80. If he sees one more tit, he'll fucking croak.
Yeah, he'll be like Blue and
exactly, dude.
Old school.
He needs to get some booby blinders.
Yeah, he needs to get an eye patch.
Booby Blinders is a pretty good Netflix show. Yeah, dude, get him a snake pill. Like the security people should be like tackling these shirtless women. That's more of a threat to him than any sort of terrorist.
Yeah, any kind of gun, you know.
Yeah,
they're not gonna shoot Bernie, but you know these.
But they might spook him.
Yeah, seriously, his hair sticks out and more. Just ring the bell, you fucking pansy.
Sure you want to do this?
Wouldn't that be crazy if just a set of tits assassinated a president? Bernie Sanders gets elected
it would be the only pair of tits to go down in history, you know?
Yeah, seriously.
I don't know. Helen of Troy had a mean set of knockers.
Yeah.
No, but did they kill a president?
They launched 1,000 ships.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I mean, people have fought for much, much worse. My dad talks about the.
Oh yeah.
My dad talks about the power of the patch, and the patch is that little square of fur right on a puss. And he said,
Call that an eye patch.
Yeah, wars have been won and lost over just a patch. If you could sell it, it'd go for a couple million an acre.
Gopher.
Well, more like a beaver. All right, Bernie 2020. That's all I have to say about that. Yeah. Well, I think that's all I got on the movie. I think.
Yeah, same. Great movie. Definitely 10 out of 10.
Super old movie.
Would recommend it. I would love to see a remake of it. Just with
starring The Rock. Yeah.
Yeah. Bigger explosions, cooler stuff happening.
Yeah.
A little creepier stuff going on in the city.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Rock is Snake Plissken and Kevin Hart's the brain.
Yeah. Who would be the Duke?
Pinky of the Brain.
Who would be the Duke?
Helen Mirren.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd probably be a woman.
A British one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
You know, because women can run stuff now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could thrive in prison now.
They can. They're not going to get tossed around like the 80s,
They're out there raping men.
Yeah.
About damn time.
That's the kind of jail I want to go to.
That's, if that's wrong, lock me up.
Yeah.
Please lock me up.
Please.
Put me in prison. Well, I'm going to go put on my VR headset and punch myself in the balls for 2 hours.
I'm thinking about that prison, huh?
Oh my gosh. God. Seriously. Free healthcare and all the pussy you can ask for.
You're not really asking, but
That's true. That's the whole point of it. You don't ask. You just have to pretend. You have to pretend and be like, "Oh no,
oh no, don't do this again.
Oh God, no."
My dad's gonna shame me.
Yeah. So take it, ladies. If you're listening, just go tackle Armand in the street. Do whatever you want to him.
I won't fight it.
Not one bit. All right. Well, yeah, highly recommend. And I think we did it. I think we said a lot of things that I hope never come back to bite us. Except for, a couple women. A couple women and a few varsity wrestlers I've got my eye on.
Yeah. Who've been held back. Let's just make sure that's
Yeah. So if you're dumb and in high school, if you've been in high school for too long, hit me up.
Yeah, and you want to get greased up. Erik Scott comedy.com.
I'm ericscott.com. Also, if anyone new's listening to this, I think it's just Ross. But like or subscribe, give us a rating on iTunes. It really helps us out. Share it, tell your friends. We're having fun here.
Yeah.
So, cool.
It's a good time.
All right. We'll see you next week.
All right, peace, y'all.
Bye.